What's up, YouTube? ODST General back again with Stage 9's Enterprise virtual tour here. So basically, you know, in the previous videos I went through the entire ship, I showed everything off, and you know, it was okay, but it felt a little long. So basically this time I'm just going to highlight some of my favorite things from the update, and just kind of talk a little bit about that, so to try and cut down on time and make it a little bit more interesting for you guys. So, first favorite thing, you guys just witnessed it upon starting the game. You beam into the transporter bay, and you're greeted by none other than Miles O'Brien. So Chief O'Brien's here to welcome us aboard. I guess these transporter rooms have gotten overhauled slightly, may have a little bit more accurate and a little bit better looking, but pretty neat start to this. So let's go ahead and get to the next thing here. Alright guys, so we're pretty much going to work our way down from the top of the ship down to the bottom here. So we're going to go ahead and get in here to the bridge, and we'll go down from there. So the bridge is pretty similar. They don't have a whole lot of new functionality on here. They do have like a working LCAR system that you can activate the screens and stuff, just as kind of a proof of concept type of thing. But what's really neat about this, and I know some of this functionality was in the last build apparently, I'm not sure quite how much, but you basically get to control the helm of the ship. So you can go in third person, or you can do this from first person using the view screen, but using, you know, your standard WSAD, like Q to roll, you're able to actually control the Enterprise directly and move it around. The other thing from here that's most notable is that it's got a warp system. So let's go to Direct 5, and there's different warp factors that you have, and they take different amounts of time. So if we want to go warp 1, it would take us 361 seconds, warp 5 72 seconds, and warp 9 40 seconds. So we're gonna go ahead and start warp. The other neat thing is that we can actually move around. It's a little loud, sorry about that guys. Anyways, you can actually move around while you're going at warp, and you can see the stars are going there through the view screen, which you'd expect. Let's go down the observation lounge. Now this was in the last update, I believe, that they had updated the observation lounge and moved it down here. But basically you go out here, it's a little bit goofy because you see them moving away from you on the side of the ship, and I think they should be moving sideways like that. If I'm, you know, if I'm incorrect, I guess I'm incorrect, but it's pretty neat. Got a musical cue. So we just arrived at the system here.
Tactical alert. Vessel approaching, bearing 184, Mark 7.
We just got a tactical alert.
We are the Borg. Lower your shields and surrender your vessel. We will add your biological and technological distinctiveness to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
Warning. Inertial damping field is unstable.
Come on, Data, do something.
Shield overloaded. Forward shield has failed.
Alright, they're getting us out of here. We're gonna leave now. So it's a neat little thing, one of the many different planets you can actually explore. We've now returned to our space dock. We're gonna go ahead and get repaired. Captain's Picard's quarters, nothing really new here, so. Yeah, anyways, so that's the neat stuff on the bridge. So let's go ahead and head to our next location here, guys, and hopefully the music will die down by that point. In fact, you know what, let's go ahead and I'll end that in just a second. Alright guys, so our next update's not too far down from the main bridge. We're just in the main hangar bay here. So this update's pretty neat. We do have to get across the hangar bay here real quick, so it's just going to take me a second to traverse that here real fast. And we're just going to go right in this door here, right off the main cargo bay. So go through this cargo door. As you can see, the shields are up. The change of shields are pretty neat to interact with now, especially if you have like a phaser or something. Speaking of which, that is a storage locker. Speaking of which, phaser range. So this is probably my favorite addition in the new update. So this is a phaser range. It's shown off a couple of times. This is a pretty neat list of Easter eggs. So you've got, you know, the people you expect, like Lieutenant Commander Data, Guinan, Worf, you know, main members of the crew. But then you've got like John Wick, G-Man from like the Half-Life series, because they use his model here. Columbo. I'm not sure of all these, if some of these are like dev team members, I'm thinking, and stuff like that. I looked up the name like Sarah McCabe, for instance, and they had a thing on their Twitter saying, you know, aspiring Starfleet cadet or something, or, you know, so things like that. Let's see who else we have here that I kind of recognize right offhand. I feel like I'm skipping over one here, maybe not. Jeff Lebowski. I do believe that's a reference to the Big Lebowski, although I could be wrong. Jason Bourne. That one's pretty funny. And then Ash Williams, which is Army of Darkness, you know, Ash versus the Evil Dead, and so on and so forth. Anyways, so for the phaser range, we do have a number of different phaser options to go with. So we're going to go ahead and click start here. Nice little beep, and then we get to choose between various phasers, including the phaser rifle here. So let's go ahead, we'll pull out the phaser rifle. It's kind of awkward to look at holding it because you're just holding it with one hand, which I don't think is proper procedure. So basically you've got two different colors here, yellow and blue, depending on which side you're shooting or standing on. That's the color you're going to want to shoot at. So these targets aren't too easy. So you can hear, oh, there's the yellow one. So you get different tones depending on whether or not you're shooting the correct color. So you can hear, I get kind of that negative tone there from missing it. And, oh. Nice little satisfying like chirp there when I get it. Don't really like the phaser rifle because it fires kind of weird. I mean, it's canon how it fires. Oh. So anyways, it's kind of tough. I'm also trying to kind of concentrate on the video here. I've had some better luck with these. Probably, like I said, not my favorite weapon, but I could definitely do better with it here. There we go. Oh, and time ran out. So unfortunately, the only downside to this, and you can see it's like Windows tint and untint as you go in and out of the range. The only real downside to this is that currently there's a scoreboard, but it doesn't actually keep track of score. So I guess at some point here during the development, maybe during the next release here, during the next release or something, we'll actually get access to like a working scoreboard, you know, and maybe even something like one day where when multiplayer, if and when it gets implemented, you'll be able to like go up against a friend of yours and see who can actually do the best. Anyways, so that's it for the phaser range. Let's go ahead and go to the next location here. All right, so these next couple of favorite parts come on the same deck here on different parts of it. So one of my favorite things was always going into the menu and going to a different Enterprise bridge because I really liked yesterday's Enterprise and some of the other ones. In order to make them feel a little bit more integrated properly, a little bit more. I'm trying to think of the word, and it's completely escaping me, so I do apologize. But basically, anyways, what I'm gonna say is these are on the holodeck now. They've also added the original Enterprise bridge, so it's pretty neat.
Enter when ready.
So you go in here, and it forms in the holodeck just like that. Now, when they were first developing it, there was some like weird stuff when you were looking through it. Looked kind of weird. Audio changes as we step on. The door stays there. Now, if I hit the H key, the entryway disappears. So now I'm on the original Enterprise's bridge. Pretty neat stuff. Not anything to do on any of these bridges. It's the same as last time, but it's really neat how that's integrated. I really do enjoy that. It would be a little bit better if the noise wasn't such a rapid change. Let's go ahead, go to my favorite bridge
Program
here.
Complete. Enter when ready.
So you've got 4 different holodecks too that you can set these up on, but you can see it's now changed. We're now on the yesterday's Enterprise. Gateway once again there. Hit the H key, and it is now gone. You know, can't walk through it or anything. It's just it's no longer there. I'm not sure what we're supposed to be over here. Kind of interesting. That looks like Earth there. Yep, because that's Florida. So yeah, pretty neat stuff. Let's go ahead and get that that entryway back. Like I said, the other one's on the same deck here, so we're actually going to we're actually just going to continue the footage here. I can't get right to it without using the turbo lift though, so we're just going to hop on there for a second, and we're going to head to Sickbay now. You know, bear in mind, like I said, these are just kind of my favorite parts of this. This isn't a full ship tour. There's been a lot of other changes and stuff on the ship. You know, graphics and performance improvements. There's a new shuttle that's available, or actually flyable, I should say. So there's a lot of different improvements in here. So we're going to go ahead and head down this way here. Can't remember exactly where this is. I believe it's right here. So here's Sickbay. Now this is just a neat little thing. You know, of course we've got all sorts of tools scattered throughout the ship. You know, that's nothing new. There's a personnel roster. Now these may have been in a previous release. I'll be honest, I don't know. I never noticed them before. But we've got a hypo spray. And one of the things you often see in the show is, you know, the doctor gets in unruly patients. You know, somebody who's out of line, they can sneak up on them and they just hypo spray them. So you're not actually killing the crew members, supposedly. They just don't get back up ever again. You guys are crowding my hallway. I don't appreciate it. It does seem to have a pretty short range, which is nice. It doesn't work like a gun or anything, so you have to be pretty close to the patient. Or victim. I guess it just depends on what you want to call them. Anyways, they're all out like a rock. Now, if I was using a phaser, it would set off the red alert, which it looks like is already going off from the Borg encounter. So let's go ahead and change that to normal status. So you can see no alert currently. There we go. Alright. This took some work, but I got him. Still, you can see no alert or anything. Don't go down there. Have a good night. Oh, he's gone. Alright, anyways, off to the last thing here I want to show off to you guys. Alright, guys. A little bit longer of a trip. We're at the bottom of the ship here. Main engineering. We've got a new toolbox filled with all sorts of tools, which does not want to open for me all of a sudden. Kind of odd. It's worked every other time, but nothing functional in there, just kind of neat. But what I really like is, you know, just all these cool controls and stuff. Oh. I hit the wrong button. Well, yeah, that's the problem. Somebody left this pad on there. Oh.
Warning, warp core breach in 30 seconds. Warning, warp core breach in 20 seconds.
Oh, we lose power.
Warning, warp core breach in 10 seconds.
Guys.
Warning, warp core breach in 5 seconds. Warp core breach imminent.
Well, guys, I think that's a fitting end. I hope you guys enjoyed this a little bit better than the other walkthroughs where I spent the entire time walking through slowly and talking about everything on the ship. Those were my favorite parts. Like I said, there's a lot more to it in this update, and you know, all the continuing updates I'll continue to show off, try and do the highlights and stuff in the future. Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this, let me know in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up, because this is one of those videos that doesn't get a whole lot of views. I appreciate you guys stopping in to watch this, and you take it easy. I'll see you next time.